Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, here we are. It's Friday, TGIF, thank God, and we're here together once again, and all of us have gathered around the breakfast table and wherever you hang out at work, maybe around the water cooler. We want to invite you to come on in with us because we're going to be here for a whole full hour. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And of course, every Friday we meet at this time. We get together, have a little coffee, donuts, and have a little great conversation. And we thank you guys for being along with us for this Friday. It looks good out there here in New York for a while. Anyway, we're going to check out the weather forecast for you with all of those great things that we're supposed to be doing right throughout the show. And so many things are happening today. We've got a lot of great topics to talk about. And for those of you who have been around with us for all of these years, we thank you so much for that. I always give you thanks each week for that, only because I want you to keep coming back again and again. Now, we have probably some new people out here for the very first time. And if you're out here for the very first time, well, we'd like to talk to you just for a minute and tell you what the show is all about. As the host of the show, I'm getting things rolling as I'm doing right now, get conversation going, pull out a topic that everyone could relate to or maybe learn about. And while I'm doing all of that setting up, you can at any time join in on the conversation. Even right now at this moment, all you have to do is use your keyboard on your computer, your phone, and your tablet and type whatever you want to type in. I will see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas because that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of ideas and opinions. And I know that you have a lot of them and we would like to hear them. So stay with us for the full hour. And if you're around somewhere at work, depending on your time zone, right? But if you're somewhere Eastern or something like that and you're at work, well, maybe at this particular time, maybe you're on a coffee break. And if you are on a coffee break, which sometimes companies allow you about 15, 20-minute coffee break, take that 15 or 20-minute coffee break, whatever you get, stay away from the water cooler and don't talk about anything except watch the show. Stay at your desk with your coffee and enjoy the show. And when that time that's allotted to you, whether it's 15 or 20 minutes or maybe more, whatever it is, you know, you're back at work, you're right at the desk and you could do what most people do, you know, work. But then in this case, you could work and watch the show at the same time, what I like to call multitasking. Yes, we've got a great show, as I said, and we want you involved into the show. And those of you who are new to the show, and if you're watching us for the very first time on Facebook, well, what we want you to do is take the time right now to tag all of your friends. You can tag this show to your friends. Maybe not all, maybe you have too many to tag, and maybe you just want to tag a few for this week. And then as time goes on, you want to tag a few more and get them involved in the show. We really would appreciate that. Tag them and let them know that we're on the air. Your family, friends, relatives, or anybody that's close by or dearest to you in your heart, tag them and bring them on the show and let them see what's happening as well. And if they like what they see, they like what they hear, they'll come back again and again, just like you. Okay. And for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, because we're on 3 different platforms. Did I mention that? We're on 3 different platforms. We're on YouTube, Instagram, and of course, Facebook. We're all live. And for those of you who are on YouTube right now, take the time to just make that little click to subscribe to us. You take your mouse, drag it over to where it says subscribe. You see it down there and click onto it, and that's all it takes. And there's no financial need involved. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to join any union, anything like that. All you have to do is just click on and you're there. And the reason why we want you to do that is because we want to see who's following us. We want to make sure that we keep a record of who's out there with us each week. And of course, we would love for you to do that. So please do that. Also, the second reason is that it benefits you to know that anytime that we go on the air live and you happen to be out there and you happen to forget about the show, it gives you an instant notification that will pop up. And all you have to do is click onto that and then it's right there and it brings you right to the room. Now, sometimes when we're on the air, of course, you get that pop up, but sometimes when we're not on the air, you may see an instant message, and that may be because the channel is active. Someone have posted a video or some still frame or still photo or something like that. That's activity. Any kind of activity that happens and you happen to be out there and a pop up, you check it out, see what's happening. But hopefully that you know that the show is on the air at this time each week. And so we invite you to do that. Now, those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you don't have to do anything special. Just keep that word going, that we're out here, and make sure that your family, friends, and relatives know all about it, and give them the opportunity to know that they can be part of the action too. And they can come out here and do the same thing and talk to us. And when you come into the room, not only will you get a chance to talk to me, but you'll get a chance to talk to other people who will come in, and they'll have their say too, and you can interact with each other as well while we keep the show going. And of course, that's what we like to do. We like to get everybody involved. Now, if you're one of the kind of people who will say, I just want to watch the show, sit back, relax, and not say anything because I want to get the hang of it. And a lot of people who are new do that. They want to get the hang of it. They want to see what it's all about before they actually get to conversation. That's okay too. As long as you're out there, that's the most important thing. And once you get the hang of it, you can talk to us. If you're not that shy, you can talk to us. And we hope the case is that you're able to do that, because we'd like to acknowledge you personally. And when we acknowledge you personally, that makes me feel like we're part of the family, and then you're part of us. So don't be shy about it. Okay. Okay, here we are. It's Friday once again, and in conjunction with interacting with you, we have our own little thing that we get going to on the show that we do implement in the show each week as well. For instance, not too far away, within this half hour of this show, Brian Camp is going to be along. We're going to call on him. He's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's the sports guy. He's going to give us the latest developments in today's world of sports. And there's a lot to talk about in sports. And of course, we'll be along, and you'll get a chance to see him if you're watching us on Facebook and all of the places you'll get a chance to see him, except for Instagram. Instagram, we don't have the luxury for you to get a chance to see him, but you'll get a chance to hear him. But the other people who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, you'll get a chance to see him right on the screen. And by the way, if you have any sports-related questions for him, please feel free. Get them ready now, because when he comes on, he's going to take them from you. When you ask them, he'll see you right there. And whatever he doesn't see, I will see, because I'm monitoring everything anyway. Whatever he doesn't see, I will see, and I'll pass it along to him. And you can get your questions answered about sports. But there's a lot of things coming up, you know. So get those questions ready. Also, later in the program, before the show is over, I have those movies. Now, each week, I dip into the goodie bag of Turner Classic Movies, because I love those classic movies, and I know you do too, which is why I always have my pick of the week for your weekend, because the weekend is coming on. And those of you who are out there, you do things on the weekends, whatever your norm is. Maybe one of the things that you want to do is catch up on some movies, old movies, new movies, or whatever. And so I want to add my contribution to your bucket list of what to watch. And I have that coming along later on in the program. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So here we are. We're still here in the month of February. And of course, the month is almost over. All right. It's the 21st day of the month. It's almost over, you know, and which means we're going to drift into March. And March is coming along, and then we're going to have March Madness, which is, of course, sports related. I guess Brian will talk to you more about that later as it comes along to see what's happening. Everybody's gearing up for that. But the football season is over. Super Bowl, all of that is over. Baseball is coming along. You know, some people are into spring training right now. Next month, they start opening day. So we're looking forward to all of that. But Brian will be talking more about that as we go along in the program. So that's what we got going. And so since we are in the month of February, February is not ended yet. And since we are in the month of February, We are in the month of February, so it's Black History Month. All across the nation is Black History Month, and we're celebrating Black History Month, celebrating our Black achievers who've made great contributions for us in this country and all around the world and all around the nation. And of course, we celebrate that. And of course, if you do, you don't have to be Black to celebrate Black history. You don't have to be Black or white to celebrate anything. Just celebrate. It's a free form. That's what we do. And right throughout the whole month, we've been making contributions and displaying Black achievers for each week that we come on the air, as long as it's Black History Month. Now, for the past couple of months, past couple of weeks, I would say, that we had two Black male achievers that we displayed and we had acknowledged. Now it's time for the women to get on board. So we have some for them. And this week, we're going to draw our line, shine a light, pay attention to a female Black achiever. And this one goes back a long way. If you like music, well, then music is the thing. So here's what's happening. This week, we're going to be focusing our history on Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Now, a lot of you may or may not know who she is, but so that's why I'm going to tell you about her right now. Sister Rosetta Tharpe was an American singer and songwriter and guitarist. She gained popularity in the 1930s and 40s with her gospel recordings. She characterized by a unique mixture of spiritual lyrics and guitar music, electric guitar. And she was the first great recording star of the gospel music. And she was among the first gospel musicians to appeal to rhythm and blues and rock and roll audiences. Later became referred to as the original soul sister and the godmother of rock and roll. She influenced early rock and roll musicians, including Little Richard, Chuck Berry, Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, and also the later guitarists such as Eric Clapton. And she was born March 20th, 1915, and she died October 9th, 1973. So that's our focus of the week on Black History Month. And her name, again, is Sister Rosetta Tharpe. And that's something that if you want to go to the library or even Google, I just gave you a taste of what she's all about, but you can know more extensive information about her by going online, Googling her, going to the public library. There's a lot of information about her. And so that's what you got. You can do that, okay? So there you have it for this month in Black History Month. And of course, we have one more week to Black History Month that we'll talk about, but of course, all of that is coming up later. Also this month, this is not a celebration. This is just an acknowledgement. It's just an acknowledgement. It's now National Cancer Prevention Month. That's what we got going right now. It's National Cancer Prevention Month. Now, we all know that, especially if you're an older person, you've been around a long time, you already know what cancer is all about. And we all know that when science came along, they perfected and prevented a lot of things. And now cancer is, I guess you could safely say, no longer really a death sentence, because people are now dealing with it, and although there's no cure for it, but there's a way to deal with it, to combat it. And a lot of people have done it. I, for one, can testify to that you can combat it. And by doing a lot of things like changing your lifestyle and eating proper foods, and make sure you do a lot of exercising and a lot of things. But since this is National Cancer Prevention Month, it's wise for you who haven't contracted cancer, and God bless you if you haven't, that's great. And since you haven't, well, you got to find ways to make sure that you can prevent it. As I said, exercise, a great diet, and changing your lifestyle, especially as you get older, because as you get older, you have to change your lifestyles in so many ways. You can't do the things that you do or that you have done when you were younger, but you want to just change up a little bit, right? And that's it. So we pay homage to all of that. And of course, if you have family and friends who are under the umbrella of being diagnosed with cancer, you could have them see their doctor. As a matter of fact, that's what you do anyway. You see your doctor on a regular basis. You want to make sure that they have the proper treatment, the proper tools to prevent it. And even if you do contract it, if you're at an early stage, there's ways to do it. Now, as I said, was a cancer survivor, or a cancer survivor, I should say, prostate cancer, and I caught mine at the very early stage, so I was able to deal with it and work with it. And right now, I'm doing great. And you can do the same thing. If I can do it, you can do it. So make sure that you see your regular doctor on a regular basis. He or she, they can help you out. A lot of people, they don't go to the doctor and they don't catch things in time to prevent it. So even if you're in the best of health, you got to see your doctor anyway. All right. So that's what we got going all this month. And so it's National American Cancer Prevention Month. Okay. Just take heed to that. We got one more week to talk about that. All right. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other publication or any other social media outlet. Now, I didn't lift my cups, which I'm going to do right now. All right. Remember that what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee, right? So now, excuse me while I shoot up. Now, a lot of people don't drink coffee. You don't have to drink coffee. That doesn't mean you can't hang out with us. People drink tea. People drink milk, orange juice, cocoa, Swiss Miss, or whatever it is, right? Just enjoy it with us, okay? Just let me take one more shot of this. Just enjoy it with us. Okay, now all of you know that you're all welcome one, or welcome all. Now, if you want to talk to us and you want to indulge in conversation, and I hope you do, give us a little weather forecast that you may have, all right? It's something that I always do each week, make sure we can compare our notes, what's happening here, where we are to compare to where you are. You may be in another city, another state, another side of the country, another side of the world, and everyone's weather is not exactly the same. So what we want you to do is make sure that you give us your weather forecast. And it's not mandatory that you do it. It's just something that we just like to do. And if you'd be kind enough to do that, we would appreciate that. Now, if you live in the vicinity of New York City, you don't have to worry about it at all. All right. All right. Because I am going to take care of all of that. And I'm going to do it right now on the weather forecast. Now, so far, we've got, it looks good outside right now. So far, we got sun coming out. And everything is looking good, and it's been cold for the past couple of days. I mean, really frigid for the past couple of days. As a matter of fact, we have 27 degrees outside right now, so that is pretty cold. A lot of people are preventing all of that by just staying indoors and not getting involved in that cold weather. They just don't want to do it. And that could be a wise thing too. But here's our weather forecast for today. This is Friday. It's going to be sunny. We'll have a high around 35 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour. So with the low temperatures that we have right now, 27 degrees, and the wind, it's going to be pretty cold. Now tonight, bundle up real warm out there. We'll have clear skies. And it's going to be very, very cold. We have a low 21 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Saturday, well, we've got sunshine still on the horizon there. It's going to be sunshine and some clouds in between now and then, but mostly sunny. We'll have a high near 40 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for Saturday night, if you're going out on the town, temperatures escalate a little bit. But that doesn't mean you go out in a short sleeve shirt or anything. A few clouds will develop for Saturday night from time to time. We'll have a low near 30 degrees. Winds will be west southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as you get ready to go back and hit the grind on Monday, and Sunday is for rest, except if you want to go out to church, you have pretty good. It's pretty good for Sunday, except for a few afternoon clouds. It's going to be mainly sunny, and we'll have a high near 45 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And repeating our current temperature out there right now, as I said earlier, we've got 27 degrees. That's pretty cold. 27 degrees. That's super cold out there, right? You want to try to stay away from that. Stay away from that if you possibly can. Okay, it's that time right now, and we're going to move over to Charlotte, North Carolina. You know why? Because Brian Camp is with us, and Brian Camp comes here each week with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And again, if you have any questions, sports related, please feel free. And of course, he'll answer all of those questions one by one. So, Brian, it's your show. Good morning.
Well, it's not my show, but it's my time.
Well,
So, what'd you say?
no, go ahead. Go ahead. I say it's your show. It's a
Okay.
show inside the show.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yes. But good evening, good morning to you all out there, wherever you may be. I'm coming live from Charlotte, North Carolina, in the United States, all over the world. I say hello to you all out there who's out there listening and wishing you all well. Hope all is well. Where it is 33 degrees out here, going up to 47 degrees, but it's going to be sunny all day. We had a touch of snow the last couple of days. In fact, back-to-back days, but nothing sticky. I was telling people here in Charlotte, I said I would never tell the people back home in New York that it snowed here and they closed the schools down where there's not snow on the ground. It snowed, but it didn't touch the ground. So, they will laugh at me. So
They
I'm not
still
gonna
close the school. They still close the school anyway.
they still close the school. Even if there's a threat, they will close
Oh
the school.
gosh.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Cost cost me a day's pay, but I make it up though.
Oh
I make
boy.
it up. Yeah. So, but it's okay. It is what it is. But what it is, they don't have the equipment like they do in big cities like New York and Chicago, and cities like that where it snows a lot.
Yeah.
So that's why we was able to have that kind of snow, but no icy condition. But it is what it is. So, but
Yeah.
we
They tell you out here though, even if it's a blizzard, they say go to a Broadway show. Don't worry about
that's right. Growing up, if it was a blizzard, you still had to go
it. Yep.
to school. Okay, that's how it was. That's how it is. So it is what it is. But let me get the sports. February 21st on this day in sports. House of Representatives urges shoeless Joe Jackson to be reinstated by Major League Baseball. That was in 1951. As you know, Shoeless Joe Jackson was in the scandal of the 1919 black pay being bribed for the World Series in 1919. 1968, baseball announced a minimum annual salary of $10,000. That was the minimum back then. 1969, Ted Williams signs a 5-year contract to manage the Washington Senators. Now here's one. Listen to this happen. This happened in 1979. I can't see who's watching. I don't know if Marion Warren is out there watching and everything, but I want them to listen to this and everybody else who's tuning in. Two Iowa girls high school basketball teams play a 4 scoreless quarters. Each quarter, they only play 8 minutes. After scoreless, that means nobody score for the first 4 quarters, total of 32 minutes. The final score of the game was 4-2. One of the girls' team, it doesn't state who was what the name of the team was, but it took 4 overtimes to have the score 4-2. That's amazing. Nobody scored. That tells you how bad those two schools were. I know they're kids and everything, but it's still bad. Can't score a point in 4 quarters. Something is wrong. But it took them a total of 4 overtimes for a final score to be 4-2. Boy, if I was the coach there, I would be screaming and losing my mind. 1985, the largest NBA crowd to date was 44,970. That was Atlanta Hawks visiting the Detroit Pistons at the Palace. And birthdays today, 1903, Tom Yawkey, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, executive owner of the Boston Red Sox, was born in Detroit, Michigan. 1925, Jack Ramsey, NBA Hall of Fame coach, NBA champion of the Portland Trail Blazers, was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And 1946, Bob Ryan, famous sports writer, still around for the Boston Globe, was born in Trenton, New Jersey. 1958, Allan Trammell, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, shortstop and manager for the 1984 World Series, and was a 1974-84 champion World Series MVP, was born in Garden Grove, California. 1977, happy birthday to Steve Francis, NBA guard, uh, was born in Tacoma Park, Maryland. Yes. Now, since we're in the midst of coming down to we got one more week left of Black History. Week one, we talked about the great Muhammad Ali. Last week, we had the ending of football. It was we talked about the first African American football coach who was Tony Dungy. Today we're going to talk about Cito Gaston, also known as Clarence Gaston. Clarence is his natural birth name. So he was the first African American coach to win a Super Bowl. Um, is no better place to celebrate both a great player. He was a great player too, and a manager. Gaston was the first manager, like I said, to win a World Series. In fact, he did it back-to-back years for the Toronto Blue Jays. His dedication, loyalty, and hard work with the Major League Baseball showcased his skill as both player and manager. Gaston's Major League career as a player from 1967 to 1978 consisted of him playing with the San Diego Padres, the Atlanta Braves, and one season with the Pittsburgh Pirates. His dedication to the organization was also noted as he spent his whole managerial career with them. His time spent as a Blue Jay was without question a highlight of his career. Ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
Speaking of Black History Month, as you were talking, doing your sports there, a lot of people, if you go on, I don't know, you don't do social media like you used to. You were telling me you don't go online like you used to, but I noticed that a lot of people are out there talking about Black History Month and changing it to Black History all year round. And I think that's their way of defying the government to the way things are today. They want to take books out of the library that's Black related or any other ethnic books, take them out of the library and just bury them under the sand. But I think people are defying the government now and say, hey, you know something? Okay, Black History Month, we got that. And since they want to play that, let's just have Black history all year round. I don't know if you've seen those posts.
I've seen
Oh,
those posts. I think that what it is, and then there's also a little joke behind it, is that why did they give African Americans the shortest month of the year? The month of February is only 27, 28 days. And that's been a long going joke and everything. But yeah, Black History should be. And then the question is, why does it make a difference who's the first Black manager, the second Black manager, or stuff like that? A manager is a manager.
mm-hmm,
Wrong, wrong, wrong,
mm-hmm,
because it took 1946 when you had the first African American football player
Mm-hmm.
1947, you had the first African American baseball player, Jackie Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
1950, you had the first NBA player. So what my
Mm-hmm.
point is, because blacks was denied the chance to play sports in those during those times because of the color of their skin
Mm-hmm.
during the era of the Jim Crow era.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we celebrate because we basically came a long way of being able to fit into American sports. A lot of people get offended. It makes them uncomfortable. Well, you know what? You ought to feel uncomfortable because this happened under the watch of this country. Not only that, it's not only history or sports history, but it's American history. Don't turn a blind eye on this
Yeah.
because it happened. Blacks didn't have nothing to do with this. We was denied.
Mm-hmm.
We were denied. We wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
And to many people, I'm pretty sure to this very day, they wish they could go back to the old fashioned way.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. This is why we celebrate Black history because it was not too long ago in 1964 and in 1965 that the Civil Rights Movement bill was passed and the
Mm-hmm.
Voters' Rights Act was passed.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're talking about the 60s, and here we are in the year 2025, and people today still are having issues with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
this
much
is
so they so much so they want to they're slapping Dr. Martin Luther King in the face. They want to take everything that he worked for, everything that he built or helped build. They're trying to take that and scratch that out of the record books. They
exactly
want to bury everything under the sand. Personally, I don't think that's going to happen. You can try all you want, but people have, with the ingenuity and everything, and all of the things that people know how to do, they keep all of these things alive. You just can't bury anything, any kind of history. I wouldn't bury any kind of history under the sand. Hey, they're still talking about Hitler. Hitler's history, but they're still talking about him.
Yeah, because it's part of history. This is part of the history.
It's
And
part of,
I mean, you would never tell a Jewish person, oh, you should move on. The Holocaust happened a long time ago. Why
right.
should you forget about that?
No, you can't.
Because you want to keep it fresh in the Jew, not only in the Jewish community, but you
Yeah,
want to keep it fresh worldwide. So this
yeah,
will never happen again. This is why
yes.
we talk about slavery.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's one of the reasons. I don't know if you heard me earlier. One of the reasons the I said, and I said it a couple of times before, that you don't have to be black to study Black history. You don't have. I know a lot of white people who study Black history. When I was in college, there was some people. There were some white people reading the autobiography of Malcolm X.
That's right.
It's free for everyone to enjoy and everyone to read. So, and I think it's a good thing, you know, for let's say we talk about the Holocaust uh, and slavery, which is kind of similar, you
Mhm.
know, and I get to learn about them, and it's good because this way we can talk to
That's
each
right.
other experience. I can talk to someone Jewish about the Holocaust, and they have any questions about me about slavery, and then you could talk to each other. That's what makes good conversation. You know,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
But I don't know the way things are today. They're not satisfied with that, and the government of today, they want to take everything away, everything that people worked for and
Hmm.
toiled for and bled and died for,
That's right.
and bury it under the sand.
And this
All
is why, I vote because our ancestors who could
Yeah.
not vote, wanted to vote, lost their lives to trying to vote.
Hmm.
So, I don't like you know, the people that's in office or who's trying to run for office, but I vote because I have that right to vote now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. You get out and vote, and then we got they're voting right now. We got 4 more years of this whole thing of this fiasco. And I said something last night on the show that I don't think, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't think this guy is going to make it through the whole 4 years. I think somewhere within this term, I don't think he's going to make the whole 4 years. What do you think?
I mean, he'll make it. I think he will make it. But, I saw a post yesterday on Facebook,
Hmm.
and it says, I'm trying to paraphrase it. The quote says, "You voted for him,
Hmm.
so don't get angry for all these firings that's occurring."
Yeah.
A lot of people lost their jobs.
Hmm.
The same people that lost their job was the one that voted for him.
Yep.
So there's no complaining. Stop crying.
Hmm.
So this is what you get. And
You
then I
got.
get biblical because I go in the book of First Samuel, 8th chapter, where the people wanted a king. They wanted a king. I'm not going to get biblical on you, but you get a chance, you read that whole chapter. The people
Yeah.
wanted a king, they got their king. and and if you just read and see what happens, and they wish that they did not wanted this king. So
Hmm.
this is what America want. It shows you how, and it show you how America is. They know what kind of man this is. They know what he's capable of doing, but yet you voted for him.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, we'll just forget about his personality and everything. But yeah, but ever since he became in office, my 401, my 457K has taken a nosedive. People don't
Oh,
talk about that. People
yeah.
don't want to talk about that.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, the beat goes on.
Yep.
The beat goes on, and as you already get, as I said last night, you only get one day at a time, and that's the way it is in politics. Because when you wake up in the morning, you don't know what's happening until you turn on the TV or the radio,
That's
and
it.
then every news that you get for the day, there's no future news. And you have to go to bed and wake up in the morning and find something. That's the thing that wakes me up in the middle of the night. What's going to happen next? What's happening next?
Exactly.
Yep, that's it. All right, Brian. Well, listen, great talking to you about this and sports and all of that. And don't forget about March Madness. That's coming up pretty soon too.
Coming up soon. I'll have some stuff for that in the upcoming weeks.
Good enough. Okay, we'll catch you back here next week then.
Take care. Everybody enjoy.
Have a good weekend. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update as he comes along each week at this time. And he brings us great sports. And of course, we go out of the realm of sports every once in a while, as you already know, because sometimes when you read articles and things like that, it kind of triggers something in your head. You say, oh, yeah, you know something, it related to that. And then that's how these conversations come up. And what do you think? I mean, you have the right to an opinion too, and you can do it on this show. And if you like to, all you have to do is just do it. That's what the show is all about, the coffee hour. And of course, all of you guys know that I do have a show on Thursday, which is called Talk Back Live, which I'll tell you more about that before we go off the air. We do the same thing, basically the same thing. And for some people who are not able to come along with us on on like today, like on Fridays, uh, we talk things over on Thursdays. So you get the both of the best worlds, but we hope that the case is that you're with us both days, both nights. Yeah. So anyway, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're along enjoying a nice hot brew, right? A nice hot brew of coffee and having great conversation. And those of you who are just joining us, uh, tell your friends about us, right? Tag this show to them. You can tag this show to them if you're on Facebook. Now, I didn't mention that you could do something similar if you're on YouTube and Instagram. Now, whatever platform that you're on, just cut and paste the link and just pass it along to them. That's all it takes. That's just like tagging too, as well. So you can do that because we want everybody to get in on the action. We're out here just to have a good time and have good conversation and pass on whether you agree or not. And one of the reasons why we have the disclaimer because some things we have to be responsible on what we say, and a lot of people are not responsible on what they say or what they do, and and everything is on record here. Once we say something is out there and it's public, when we do this show is public forever. It's out there forever, you know, and we keep, of course, here at the Frank Allen Productions, we keep archives of everything that we do here too, and so we're not hiding away from anything, but we are enjoying good conversation. And whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. You have your right to a free speech here. We're going to make sure that always happens here, you know. And then we have a lot of fun. It's not always politics that we talk about. We talk about anything that you want to talk about in particular. Please feel free. Feel free to do that. And just in case, again, if you want to join us in conversation, give us your weather forecast. I gave you mine already. Let us know what it's like in your area so we can compare notes and have a good time with it. All right. So we're going to do that. All right. The coffee hour moves on. Actress Candice Bergen's her husband Marshall Rose, died last Saturday. Rose died from complications with Parkinson's disease. The real estate developer and the nonprofit advisor died peacefully at home in the early morning hours, and he was surrounded by loved ones. He was 88 years old. Former Eagles guitarist John Felder was forced to exit the stage during a performance last Thursday night due to a medical emergency. The incident occurred in the middle of the show on the Rock Legends cruise, and was later addressed on Felder's social media. Felder's performance will be rescheduled to ensure he has ample time to rehydrate and recover fully. Now, since this report was released, it's been said that he has been returning to the stage already, so that's good news. General Hospital fans might be surprised to see a familiar face around Port Charles. Jonathan Jackson, who plays Lucky Spencer, will be missing for several episodes. Luckily for loyal viewers, the actor won't be gone for long. In fact, he's expected to be back on the show later this month. In the meantime, they can still keep up with Lucky's storyline thanks to the return of GH alumnus Guy Wilson. And Rachel Zegler and Kit Connor took their final Broadway bow together on Sunday as the acclaimed revival of Romeo and Juliet ended its 20-week limited engagement at the Circle in the Square Theater in New York City. It was frequently standing room only, and according to a release, broke multiple records during its short run, including becoming the highest grossing limited engagement in Circle of the Square theater history. The actors also attracted the youngest ticket buyer audience in recorded Broadway history, with 14% of purchasers age 18 to 24, compared to the current industry average of 3%. And most notably, Romeo and Juliet recouped as its entire $7 million capitalization during its run. Nationally syndicated talk show host Tamron Hall has been renewed for the 7th season. The daytime strip, which has become Disney's second largest running syndicated show, has been picked up for another season by major market ABC-owned TV stations and Hearst Television. And that gives it the firm to go to 2025 to 2026 TV season. Congratulations. Actress Jennifer Love Hewitt, birthdays this week. Jennifer Love Hewitt is 46 years old today. Actor Jack Coleman of Dynasty is 67 today. Actor, comedian Kelsey Grammer is 70. Actress Tyne Daly of Cagney and Lacey is 79 years old today. The late politician John Lewis would have been 85. Actor Richard Beymer of West Side Story is 86 years old today. The late politician Barbara Jordan would have been 89 today. Actress of the late Rue McClellan of Maude and the Golden Girls would have been 91. And singer Nina Simone would have been 92. And actress Anne Sutherland from the 50s would have been 110 years old. And so happy birthday to all who are with us today. And for the ones who are not with us, we say happy birthday because we do remember you and we would like to salute you on your birthday today. And if you have a birthday coming up anytime soon and you'd like us to acknowledge it, you can do it yourself. But if, of course, if you'd like us to acknowledge it for you, we'll be glad to do that. And you can get in touch with us. I have two sources how you can do that. I have an email address and a telephone number. Let me give you the email address first. Okay, how about that? The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. Of course, you already know that's it's important to know that. All right, that's a very important detail because if you spell it any other way than I just spelled it out for you, then you won't get in touch with me. It's spelled Allan. Prod is Prod. That's short for productions. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Now, let me give you the telephone number if you desire to call, and you can call and leave a phone message. The number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. You can call or you can email 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. And of course, if you're going to email us, we'll get that. And of course, we'll acknowledge that as well. If you call us, you can call and leave a message. And of course, we'll acknowledge that too. Now, when you call, you can call for any reason at all. Like I said, if you have a birthday coming up, any kind of other event that you want to talk about, let us know. If you like to talk about the show, get more knowledge about the show, or maybe you want to critique the show, which of course we always encourage you to do that because we'd like to know where you stand with us, or if you like to implement or have us implement something special in the show, or maybe improve the show by adding something new to the show, I will listen to you. We can't guarantee you everything, but we can guarantee you one thing, that we take everything that you say or ask at heart and we talk about it. Then we have a board meeting, right? Of course, you don't have to be included. We have a board meeting and we talk about it. All right. Me and the staff, we have a board meeting and we talk about it. And then they say, hey, that's a good idea. Let's do it. If not, well, we can do that some other time, or we talk about it. But you're always in the mix. Always in the mix. We talk about it. All right. And of course, as I said, you can contact us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And of course, we invite you to keep all of the information I just gave you with you at all times. There's no longer the phone book or any pad or anything. Everything goes into that electronical device that you may have, which is your computer or your cell phone, which you keep all of that information in there anyway. So it's always at your disposal. You can use it anytime you want. It's just a matter of hitting a button and popping it up, and it's right there for you. Cut and paste or whatever it is, and you could recite it to someone. You could pass it along to everyone. Okay, so keep all of that information with you. Let me give you that email address again. It's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. And just let me repeat myself again. If you have any kind of question, please feel free. And if you want to join in conversation, of course, we'd love for you to do that. All you have to do is let us know what it is and give us your weather forecast. I mean, it's late in the show right now. And then even at this particular time, if you have any friends that may be interested in this show, tag them. All right. If you're on Facebook, tag them. If you're on Instagram or if you're on YouTube, cut and paste the platform you're on and send it to them. They'll see the information coming from you, and then they will click on to it. And that would be it. Okay. One of the things I wanted to tell you about, and this is going to be the last time I'm going to be talking about this, unless I get more information about it. Things are changing here in the United States. And as Brian said, there are a lot of things that we have to concern ourselves with, like our Social Security check and everything that we're doing. The latest thing you probably heard too is that they're getting ready to fire a lot of people in the middle of the tax season. This is the middle of the tax season now. People are filing their taxes, and people who are hired every year, right, for part-time work in preparing taxes, they're trying to cut down on that. And so, and they're trying to get into the postal thing where they want to, cut, ties with that. Particularly, they don't want you to vote by mail. That may be a problem. That may be one of the reasons why they want to get into that. But so many things are happening. And but I just want to turn my attention over to what I read last night and for the past couple of weeks about some of the companies who have retreated from DEI. Now, we already know all about that. I don't have to explain what that is. Well, I'll tell you what DEI means. It means diversity, equality, and inclusion. All right. Now, it also sends out a message to a lot of people, and particularly some of these companies that I'm getting ready to talk about, that you don't no longer have to employ. You don't have to. You're not obligated to, but no one is obligated to do anything anyway, to hire blacks or other minorities or other people, women, and women are considered the minority, as it's told, and so these are the companies that I'm going to tell you about. And you can decide whether or not you want to continue to put your hard-earned dollars into these companies. All right. The first company is Target. Everybody shops Target. There's Target. There's Meta platforms such as what we're on now, Facebook and Instagram. That's Meta. Amazon is another one. McDonald's, Walmart, or Walmart, I should say. Ford, Lowe's, Harley Davidson, Brown Forman, which is the parent of Jack Daniels, John Deere, Tractor Supply, and here's investment firm Goldman Sachs. Now, the latest thing with them is that they confirmed that it was dropping the requirement that forced IPO clients to include women and members of the minority groups on their board of directors. All right. So they're not forced to do that anymore, and then you also have Google. And in the past, I've been boycotting a few other places too, where I'm not going to spend my money, which is at Home Depot, Taco Bell, Wendy's, and Nathan's. And as I said, the other ones I just gave you too, I will people, you have to decide whether or not you want to spend your hard-earned money that you worked for, and continue to invest in these companies that really won't hire you as maybe a group of from a minority group or a woman. So I just gave you those. So just keep those in mind. Now, if I find any more as I go along each week, I will certainly tell you about them. So you can act accordingly. But you could also go on Google and find these things too. Find out for yourself. And all you have to do is Google what companies have retreated from DEI. All right, you can check those out. All right. Bad news all around. Bad news all around. Okay, I have those movies I want to tell you about, and these are classic movies and movies that I think that I am going to add to your bucket list of what to watch because the weekend is here, right? And although you do a lot of things on the weekend, one of the things that you want to do is catch up on some movies, whether they're old movies or classic movies. Well, I have a few right now that I'm going to relate to you and a few recommendations as well. Here's the first movie I got for you from 1951, a movie called Yesterday. It's a comedy starring Judy Holliday, Broderick Crawford, and William Holden. It's a great comedy. I like it. It's Turner Classic Movies, and you can check it out Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So we're in Friday mode right now, so that would be tonight where we are. And Some Like It Hot from 1959. Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon, Turner Classic Movies, and you can check that out. That's Friday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, and that's a nice little comedy too. It's a black and white movie, just as Born Yesterday is black and white. Here's something in Technicolor: Cat on a Hot Tin Roof from 1958, and that stars Elizabeth Taylor, Paul Newman, and Burl Ives. And that's Turner Classic Movies, and you can check that out on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Here's another that's in color from 1967 as we move along. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, one of my favorite movies, starring Spencer Tracy, Sidney Poitier, and Katharine Hepburn. And that's Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. All right. Now, I have a couple of suggestions, one on Hulu. And this is something I just saw recently. It's called Sly Lives, aka The Burden of Black Genius. And this is a story, a documentary about Sly and his family Stones. It's a delightful documentary. I think you're going to like it. It's on Hulu. Sly Lives, aka The Burden of Black Genius. Check it out. I think you'll like it. And on Netflix, all of you who are on Netflix, here's something nice, another documentary that I picked up that I saw that I watched. It's called Blood Brothers. That's Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. Blood Brothers, that's the name of the flick. Blood Brothers, Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. I think you'll like it. Check it out. Now, those of you who are on Turner Classic Movies and you go there, what I want you to do is go there for yourself and scroll down, because you may find other movies that I didn't mention. Only these are my picks of the week. You may like them and you may want to check them out as well, and you could put them on your bucket list as well. Now, if you can't watch all of these movies in real time, you can always know that you can DVR these movies and watch them at your own convenience, and particularly if you have cable, which a lot of people still do have cable, but you can check them out then. All right. And also, while you're on demand, there are free movies out there that you could watch. Movies that date back to the 1950s and the 40s and whatever. Chock full of them that you can check out as well. And you have great documentaries, you have children's programs, and you have sporting events, and all that's in line. Check out what's happening on all of the networks. Let's say Lifetime movies. You like those kind of movies? Well, see what's available on there. They're right there, and they'll tell you all of that. All right. It's all right there. So let me give you these movies once again. I think you'll like them. This one is from 1951, as I said. It's called Born Yesterday, starring Judy Holliday. You have Roger Crawford. That's the guy that used to play on Highway Patrol. William Holden, and that's on Turner Classic Movies at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon. That's Friday. Turner Classic Movies at 11:30 p.m. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof from 1958. Elizabeth Taylor, Paul Newman, and Burl Ives. That's Turner Classic Movies at Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Spencer Tracy, Sidney Poitier, Katharine Hepburn, and that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then these documentaries are in commemoration of Black History Month. This one on Hulu is Sly Lives, aka The Burden of Black Genius. That's Sly and the Family Stones. And Netflix will bring you Blood Brothers, Malcolm X, and Muhammad Ali. I hope you get a chance to watch these. And when I tell you they're good, they're good. But you have to judge for yourself, because we all don't have the same taste. But I think you're going to like these movies. Check them out for yourself and see what's happening. I want to thank all of you who are joining us, who have been joining us for the past hour. And those of you who are normally here, you could always check us out, of course, when we have the playback, or as the rerun, as you would like to say. And you can check us all out at any time on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. If you didn't get a chance to see them live, you could always do that as well. A lot of people don't get a chance to be here each week, but they always check out the show on the reruns, okay? We thank you so much for being along. That's it. I got to go. My weekend is officially underway. and yours will be soon. And we thank you for being along with us. We're going to be back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talk Back Live. Brian Kemp is going to be along with me for sports. He has the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And we hope that you will be along with us to experience that. Otherwise, you can meet us back here as well next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And that's the coffee hour. And Brian Kemp will be here with me too with more sports, and that's the latest developments. And of course, we hope that you will be here too. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day and a great weekend, and we'll catch you back here soon. Take care of yourself.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.